Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Avamahe, Kavim Kavinam Upavastravastramam Jeshtarajam Brahmanan Brahmanaspata Anushrunhoti Biseda Sadhanam. Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Ganana Antva Ganapatigam Avamahe, Kavim Kavinam Upavastravastramam Jeshtarajam Brahmanan Brahmanaspata Anushrunhoti Biseda Sadhanam. Om Mahaganadipataye Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Om. Shambhave Namaha, Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya, त्रयंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकाग्निकाराय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सद्मेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः. We discussed about Shiva Purana, and this episode we are discussing about Parvatraja, the Himalaya, and Maina are worshipping Shiva and Shakti to get a daughter like Shakti. They made a penance. Maina and Parvataraja conducted a penance, and goddess Uma became very pleased by her penance. She appeared before her and asked her to demand anything she wished for. Maina expressed her desire of having 100 valiant sons and a daughter who would be worshipped by the people in all the three worlds. Goddess Uma blessed her by saying Tatatsu. Maina narrated this incident to her husband Himalaya, the Parvataraja. He became very pleased. In due course of time, 100 sons were born to Maina. One of the sons was Mainaka, who possessed supreme qualities. Due to some reasons, Indra had severed the wings of Mainaka's 99 brothers, but by taking the refuge of ocean, Mainaka was able to survive the assault of Indra's Vajrayuda. Himalaya and Maina engaged themselves in worshipping Shiva and Shakti day and night. After some days, Parvati manifested herself by taking birth as a baby in Parvataraja's family. After her birth, the whole Himalaya mountain region became illuminated by her radiance. Divine childhood place of Parvati. After taking birth, Parvati gradually started Maina told Parvataraja about Parvati's dream. And according to her dream, she has to go for penance in the Himalaya mountain, asking Shiva's blessings. Parvataraja said, I also saw in my dream that Parvati had blessed Shiva. Parvati had been blessed by Shiva. Her tremendous penance, and ultimately both of them got married. Maina was satisfied and waited eagerly for that auspicious moment of marriage. In Kailasa, one day, Lord Shiva, accompanied by his ganas like Bringi, Nandi, etc., arrived an Himalaya mountain with the purpose of doing a penance. When Parvati's father, Parvataraja, came to know about his arrival, he went to receive him. After he had made his salutation to Lord Shiva, he was instructed by Shiva to see that he is not disturbed while doing his penance. Parvataraja made all the necessary arrangements so that Lord Shiva could perform his penance without being disturbed. One day, Himalaya, the Parvataraja, arrived at the place where Lord Shiva was doing his penance. Parvati too came along with him. Parvataraja requested him to keep Parvati so that she could be at his service. Lord Shiva declined to keep Parvati with him, fearing her presence might cause hindrance in the path of his parents. Now Parvataraja became very concerned about his daughter's future and wondered whether Parvati would remain unmarried. He was worried. Parvataraja was worried. Parvati, Shiva, Lord, though Lord Shiva was very much impressed by her devotion, Parvati's devotion, he decided that he won't marry her until she has proved her mettle by her tremendous penance. So the Devas were far tormented by a demon named Tarakasura. They went to Lord Brahma to seek his help. Lord Brahma sends Kamadeva to disturb the samadhi of Shiva, because Lord Shiva was under the penance, so that being influenced by him, so Brahma thought by influencing Lord Shiva with the help of Kamadeva, so that Shiva and Parvati got married. This attempt of Brahma was unsuccessful. Shiva burned Kamadeva with the help of his third eye. Parvati then redoubled her effort to attract the attention of Shiva by engaging herself in a tremendous penance. So one side Lord Shiva is also doing penance, another side Parvati is also doing penance. Narada was curious to know about this Tarakasura. He asked Brahmaji to narrate his tale. Brahma said the story of Tarakasura. शंभवे नमः विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयंबकाय त्रिपुरांतकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकंठाय मृत्युंजयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः. हरि ओम. The Devas were tormented by the demon called Dharakasura. They went to Lord Brahma to seek his help. Lord Brahma sends Kamadeva to disturb the penance of Lord Shiva, so that being influenced by Kamadeva, Brahma thought he may agree to marry Parvati. This attempt of Brahma was unsuccessful. Shiva burned Kamadeva with the third eye opening. Parvati then redoubled her effort to attract the attention of Lord Shiva by engaging herself in a tremendous penance. Narada was curious to know about Tarakasura. He went to Lord Brahma asking his father Brahma to narrate. Narada was curious. Brahmaji said, Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, had 13 wives. Diti was the Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, had 13 wives. Diti was the eldest among them. She was the mother of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So, Diti was the mother of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Both her sons were killed by Lord Vishnu in his incarnations. Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha both were killed by Lord Vishnu. Again, Diti gave birth to Vajranga, who was very valiant and brave. When he grew up, Diti ordered him to defeat all the Devas. With his mother's permission and blessings, Vajranga defeated all the Devas and held them captive. He fastened all the Devas with strings and himself became the king of the heaven. Seeing the pitiable state of the Devas, Brahma went to Vajranga accompanied by Kashyapa and requested him to free all the Devas. Vajranga agreed to free them but said he did not have any aspiration of becoming the king of heaven. He only wanted to teach a lesson to Indra. Vajranga returned to the heaven to the Devas. Later on, the married Vajrangi, who has been created by Brahma. While Vajranga was of the virtuous nature, Vajrangi was met. Both Tarakasura and his penance. Vajrangi gave birth to Tarakasura. So, Vajrangi and Vajranga. Vajranga is the son of Diti, and Vajrangi gave birth to Tarakasura, the valiant and brave demon Tarakasura. During the time of his birth, the world was affected by inauspicious events like earthquake, cyclones, etc. His name Tarakasura was given by Kashyapa. After he grew up, Tarakasura went to Madhuvana to do penance. His tremendous penance scared the Devas. Becoming pleased by his penance, Lord Brahma appeared before him and asked him to demand anything what he wants. Tarakasura demanded 2 boons. There should be no man as powerful as him in the 3 worlds, and except Shiva's son, nobody should be able to kill him. Tarakasura's request for Brahma was, no man, and no person was powerful as him, and except Shiva's son, nobody should be able to kill him. Lord Brahma blessed him by saying Tathastu. After receiving these boons, Tarakasura returned back to Ronitpura and was crowned as the king by Shukracharya. He then defeated the Devas and drove them out of the heaven. Tarakasura relinquishes heaven on the advice of Lord Brahma. After being driven away from the heaven, the Devas went to Lord Brahma to seek his help. They asked him as to how they could get rid of this monster Tarakasura. Brahma revealed to the Devas that Tarakasura could be killed only by such a person whose parents are Shiva and Parvati. He also advised them to make efforts so that Shiva agrees to marry Parvati. Lord Brahma then went to Tarakasura, who had now become the king of heaven, and tried to convince him to return it back to Devas. Tarakasura agreed to relinquish the heaven and give it back to Devas. The Devas went back to the heaven. Kamadeva was sent to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was doing a very severe penance. Lord Brahma told Narada that the Devas decided to send Kamadeva to influence the Lord Shiva so that marriage between the Shiva and Parvati could happen. Indra called Kamadeva and told him that the demon king Tarakasura could be killed only by such a person who was the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. Indra instructed Kamadeva to arouse passion in Lord Shiva so that he agrees to marry Parvati. Kamadeva, accompanied by his wife Rati, went to Lord Shiva to accomplish the mission. Efforts of Kamadeva now. Kamadeva saw Parvati arriving accompanied by her companions. She was looking divine in her divinity beauty. Just at the moment Lord Shiva too had come out of his meditational trance, Kamadeva thought it was the most appropriate moment to have a go at Lord Shiva. Kamadeva struck Lord Shiva with his Kamabana, which did have a deep impact on him. Lord Shiva was struck by the awesome beauty of Parvati and his heart became full of passion for her. But at the same time, he was surprised at the sudden change in his behavior. He realized that it was an act of Kamadeva. Kamadeva reduces to ashes. Lord Shiva looked all around him. He saw Kamadeva standing towards his left side with a bow and arrows in his hands. Now he is fully convinced that it was indeed an act of Kamadeva. Kamadeva became terrified. He started trembling, remembering God, but before the deities could come at his rescue, the Shiva's third eye opened and Kamadeva was reduced to ashes. Parvati got scared after seeing Lord Shiva on such a destruction anger. She went to her house along with her companions. Rati, the wife of Kamadeva, wept continuously unconsolably. The Devas arrived and consoled her by saying that by the grace of Lord Shiva, her husband would be going to be alive again. After that, Devas went near Lord Shiva and did his worship. They told him that it was not the fault of Kamadeva as he had acted in accordance with the aspirations of all the Devas. They also told Lord Shiva the mystery of Tarakasura's death. The desire then requested him to make Kamadeva alive once again. Lord Shiva told They requested Lord Shiva to help Rati to unite with her husband. Lord Shiva then told them Kamadeva would become his Gana, but he also warned them against revealing this fact to anybody. Rati then went to that city where the demon Shambra was expected to appear in the era of Dwapara Yuga. The Devas too went back to the heaven. The anger of Shiva subsides. Lord Shiva's anger did not subside after death of Kamadeva, and the whole world started to feel the wrath of Lord Shiva's fury. All the living creatures became terrified. They went to Lord Brahma and prayed to him to save them from Shiva's wrath. Lord Brahma went to the Lord Shiva and conveyed their request to him. Lord Shiva agreed to relinquish his anger. Lord Brahma then carried Shiva's fury to the sea and went to the sea. He requested the sea god to possess it until the final annihilation. The sea agreed to do this. This way Lord Shiva's anger, fury entered into the sea and all the living creatures felt sign of relief. Narada discussed with Parvati. Narada preaches Parvati. When Parvati reached her home, she became very sad as she was unable to bear the sorrow of Shiva's separation. Sage Narada arrived there. Her father Himalaya, the Parvataraja, narrated the whole story to him. Sage Narada gave 5-lettered mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, to her, and he also instructed her to do penance. Parvati's heart was filled up with enthusiasm. Parvati thus started severe penance. After taking the permission of her parents and relinquishing all of her ornaments and royal apparels, Parvati went to the same place where Lord Shiva himself had done penance. This sacred place was situated at the Himalayas, from where the holy Gangas originated. Parvati companions too had accompanied her. Parvati commenced her penance, which gradually became severe day by day. She did penance for 3,000 years by chanting the 5-lettered Om Namah Shivaya and performing other kinds of austerities also. Becoming impressed by her tremendous penance, even the devas flocked to see her. Parvati did her penance surrounded by fire on all 4 sides during the summer. In rainy season, she did her penance without any shelter, and during winter, she used to penance by immersing herself in the neck-deep water. The devas, all the devas go to the Lord Shiva. Parvati's power created such a heat in the atmosphere that the whole world started to burn. All the devas and sages went to Lord Brahma and told him about the effects of Parvati's penance was having on all the 3 worlds. Lord Brahma, accompanied by all of them, went to Vishnuji. They visited the place where Parvati was doing penance. They realized that Lord Shiva was the only remedy, and hence all of them went to Lord Shiva and made salutation to Lord Shiva. Salutation given his approval. The Lord Shiva inquired about the purpose of the arrival of devas. Lord Vishnu then revealed to them that how distressed and tormented were the devas by the activities of the Devantarkasura. He also told Lord Shiva that he could be killed only such a person who is born out of the parentage of Shiva and Parvati. Lord Vishnu then told Shiva about Parvati's penance. Initially, Lord Shiva refused to comply with their request, but when the devas continued with their insistence, he ultimately gave his consent. The devas became very pleased. Parvati's love for Shiva tested by the Saptarishis. After the devas went back, Lord Shiva summoned the Saptarishis, Vasishtha, etc., and instructed them to test Parvati's love for him. Saptarishis went to Parvati and tested her resolve to marry Lord Shiva. They tried to deter her by all means, but Parvati has firm inner resolve. They went back to Lord Shiva and narrated the whole story. Lord Shiva tested Parvati himself. Lord Shiva then himself went to Parvati in the guise of Brahmin. Parvati, on seeing the Brahmin, welcomed her with full honor. Shiva asked Parvati as to why was she doing penance. Parvati told him that she wanted to have Shiva as her husband. Lord Shiva, who was in the guise of a Brahmin, started cursing Shiva to see how Parvati reacted to it. Parvati replied that in spite of her penance, Shiva did not appear. So she has decided to give up her life in burning fire. After seeing like this, Parvati requested that Brahmin to go back, and she herself entered into the burning fire but remained unharmed. Lord Shiva was very pleased to see her firm resolution and devotion. He again asked her as to what was the purpose behind doing such a tremendous penance? Parvati's reply. Parvati told Brahmin, who in reality was Shiva himself, that she wanted to have Shiva as her husband at any cost. She said, "You say that Lord Shiva does not possess anything, not even wealth. He does not put on clothes on his body. You also say that he is not fit to be bridegroom of me. But all of your utterances prove you mean intelligent." Shiva reveals his true identity. Parvati, continuing with her statements, said that Shiva was the most capable deity among all the three worlds. There is no sin greater than condemning Shiva, said Parvati. As Shiva was in the guise of Brahmin, was about to say something, Parvati said to one of her companions, "This Brahmin should be killed. If this is not possible, then we must leave this place at once." As she was about to leave the place, Lord Shiva revealed his true identity and by holding her hand said, "You have been my wife since time immemorial. Where are you going?" Parvati became very pleased and her heart was filled up with extreme joy, and she requested him to take to her father regarding their marriage. Lord Shiva agreed. He went back to Kailasa mountain and narrated the whole story to his Ganas, Nandi, Bhairava, etc. Everyone became very happy and awaited eagerly for the day of Shiva and Parvati wedding. Shiva, Parvati, after successfully accomplishing her penance, came back to her home every day, was very happy at arrival. After some time, Himalaya went out to take his bath to the river Ganga. Meanwhile, Lord Shiva arrived in his appearance. Lord Nataraja had started dancing in front of Parvati's mother Maina. She was so pleased by his dance that she wanted to present jewels to him in appreciation, but Shiva refused to take them. He expressed his desire to marry Parvati, which made Maina furious. In the meantime, Himalaya, the Parvataraja, arrived and she informed him what Shivaji had said. He became angry too and ordered his attendants to drive away Nataraja Shiva from the place. Shiva then showed his divine appearance, due to which Parvataraja had the vision of Lord Vishnu and Parvati sitting by the side of Lord Shiva in him. Himalaya Parvataraja was very surprised. Lord Shiva again demanded Parvati to be made as his consort. But Parvataraja, in his ignorance, again refused it. Nataraja then returned back to his abode. After Shiva went back, Himalaya, the Parvataraja, had a feeling that perhaps it was Lord Shiva himself who had arrived in the appearance of Nataraja. He realized what a grave blunder mistake he had committed. Because of their guilty consciousness, both Maina and Himalaya felt the agony of devotion in their heart. Shiva's delusionary power. नमोस्तनंताय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षरभासासुनाम्ने पुरुषाश्रुते सहस्रकोटियुगधारणे नमः सहस्रकोटियुगधारणे नमः आकाशात् परितं यथागतसागरं सर्वदेव नमस्कारः श्रीकेशवं परिगत्यो नमः सर्ववेदेषु यत्पुण्यं सर्वतीर्थेषु यत्फलं तत्फलं पूर्णमाप्त्यवासनाद् वासुदेवस्य वासन्ते जगत्रयं सर्वभूतनिवासोऽस्ति वासुदेवमृते कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओम्।